Okay, to start this off, Cubits had something to show.
Yes, so I just wanted to talk about parades. Obviously, Paint the Night was announced earlier by events. And if you went to the Mickey Minnie's anniversary event in November, you would have seen that obviously we had, what's it called? Move It, Shake It, which was done with models. Paint the Night's going to be pretty similar. Ideally, parades can be done with models and they look fantastic. Hannah Aurora is the one who's been helping me out with doing a load of the models behind the scenes. There was one sent earlier. I'm just going to quickly see. I've got another one in panel discussion. So every float is going to be 3D modeled. It will be your normal parade as well as like having armor stands. We'll do some nice color floor changing. But yeah, the main selling point is obviously the 3D models. It's pretty cool to have them in parades, obviously. The characters, so they won't technically be standing. The way our show system will work is it will spawn them in the place and it will move them along with the float at the correct speed. So when we did Move It, Shake It, we had staff members that were like attached to the armor stands originally, and it worked great, but it was also quite restricting because it meant whenever we wanted to run that sort of show, we have to have the staff behind it. But using the normal armor stand system and having 3D models on armor stands for the floats tends to work great. There's no plan to do the full route because of the turning, and it will just become a bit of a pain. But I think it's definitely something that we could look into in future. That's about it from me.
Okay. Yeah, there's Paint the Night.
Should I talk about my thing or should we wait?
Yeah, you can go. You can go.
But I'm filtered. I've been working on such projects as Frozen Ever After, Figment, a bunch of refurbs that are currently like Seas, which is currently closed. That's my bad. But as for now, I'm working on Galaxy's Edge and Living with the Land and the Seas. And right now, we don't have pictures of that. We're getting builder for talking to Ulick, and we're talking. Yeah, we do. I did Country Bear Jamboree too. Actually, I actually wanted to talk about that too. I'm gonna do that real quick. So, Country Bear Jamboree, you guys seem to love the Christmas version of Country Bear Jamboree, and we're looking at possibilities for possibly doing the Vacation Hoedown show, which is a summer showdown for that. I started prep work for that show already. I don't know if everyone's up for the. Well, I'm gonna talk to creator for that. I want to make sure that that's up to whatever everyone wants to see. And the reason I started this early is because it took so long to do the Christmas show last time. I want this one to be a little bit to last a little bit longer, because by the time I was done with it, it was already December, and I wanted more time for it to, you know. But other than that, Country Bear Jamboree Vacation Holdowns in its early planning stages, and Living with the Land. Again, Ulick is working with me on that, and we're waiting for everyone to get off the Galaxy's Edge project and get their finishing touches off that, so we can start working on the Living with the Land refurbishment, and then we're gonna completely overhaul the Seas Pavilion, and we're gonna. Yeah, that's it. That's all I want to talk about.
Yeah, we're looking to redo basically, hopefully all Epcot rides eventually. But, let's see. Okay. Next thing. Actual wanted me to talk about Hall of Presidents. That is being started. I believe the text, yeah, the text for it is done. And then the other thing that Actual has been working on recently, there's the stage at USA, America stage. And Actual's been doing some short shows there, like 3-minute shows. And they're going to be able to play randomly shortly. I believe there's like 2 of them done. Actual can correct me if I'm wrong. There's like 2 or 3 of them done. 4 done. There you go. So yeah, he can play them randomly whenever he wants. They're all custom. There's not like a specific thing for them. Let's see. Then we got Symphony of the Stars is something that we all love or hate. Most of us hate it because, yeah, exactly, down with the sits. We have been working on replacing it with Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. I think Steven, which is one of our show developers, have been teasing it throughout the months. It should hopefully be done soon. It is using new fireworks, so basically, if any of you saw during the Halloween party, there was, I don't know what it was called, the new Hollow Wishes show, whatever that's called. Steven does use the new fireworks that he's been working on. It is a bit laggy. It does kill the server, so it is slowly being worked on. Already see the one saying Tiki Room. No, Tiki Room. Tiki Room is not being worked on right now. Basically because it's not needed. And we're focusing our priorities on different things. Okay, next. Fantasmic. Yeah, we all love Fantasmic. On the 9th is, so yeah, in next Saturday, exactly a week from today, is when we're next going to be showing Fantasmic with staff. So there's not going to be NPCs, it's actually going to be staff members. Yeah, that's something we all like. Exactly, we already got so many staff signing up. It's great. There's no need for guest actors, sadly. Like, if anyone ever asks about guest actors, the answer right now is no, because we have too many staff. So, there you go. Ride refurbs. We talked about a little bit about ride refurbs a bit ago. But we're currently looking at redoing most of Epcot. We actually are redoing most of Epcot rides. Obviously, Test Track, Living with the Land, Seas. Those are the current ones we have planned. Eventually, we're going to try to go back to Magic Kingdom and just touch up on what we rushed on eventually. If we think something was rushed, we're going to go back on it and do like a full refurb on it. Basically, like Pirates, I know Pirates is going to be like the first one that I have plans to redo. Mainly because it's a bit broken, but that's fine. Something everyone, let's see, Rise of the Resistance. Yes, we all know that's coming. I'm gonna send another picture, similar to the one before. But as you can see, yes, we can turn BB-8's head without turning his body, which has been very helpful. So like BB-8 can move his head while the body stays the same. Very, very helpful. The pre-show is getting done. We actually assigned text recently to like all the scenes. Most of the scenes, there's still a few that need text assigned to them, but it's fine. And looking to have it done mid-January. Don't hold me to that though, because might not happen. But we are currently trying to aim for mid-January to be completely done with everything, really. So splitting it to different people has really helped. And then let's see what's next. Oh gosh, MMRR. This is the one that like, oh gosh, I'm not ready. Okay, here's a picture of it just so you guys don't get bored. Here you go. Yes, it has been put on hold for now because Galaxy's Edge is way more important, in my opinion, and in Halo's opinion as well. So yes, it is on hold. I know my current plan is to do Runaway Railway, or not Runaway, do Rise of the Resistance and then Muppet Vision, while slowly working on Runaway Railway. So it's going to be worked on over time. Yeah, Muppet Vision. Yeah, who wants to see a video of that? That's actually the next thing I had. Let's see a video of this. It's gonna upload. It's like 50 megabytes, so you're gonna have to give it a second to upload. Little explanation. The video is what I've just been like messing around with, so it's not close to final. I was just messing around one day, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. So it's definitely gonna be edited because, yeah, it's also my slow computer, so don't worry. It's gonna be a bit slow, or a bit laggy, but it's fine. I know a lot of you asked about Runaway Railway for some reason, or not Muppet Vision. I'm getting my words mixed up. Yeah, a lot of you are asking about Muppet Vision for some reason. No clue why, but it's okay. Okay, we're gonna wait for that to send. And you guys are sending Daisy. Oh my god. Okay, this is going great. Why the? Okay, yeah, that's Runaway Railway though. Okay, it's sending. It's almost done sending. It's a big file. And hopefully you should be able to play it within Discord. You're gonna get the video like moved up if you keep spamming. Okay. Okay, it's done. There you go. It's processing. Okay. Should send any moment now. You can play. It's like 30 seconds. Yeah, there you go. It's 30 seconds. You just click play. And that was just me messing around. So you can just check it. I'll give you guys some time to watch it. Yeah, there's your 30 seconds of Muppet Vision. Basically just trying, because it is a screen, it's like a screen thing, so trying to emphasize all the movements. We can literally do whatever we want because we have as big of a stage as we need. And then the final thing I have to specifically talk about is we're currently looking to redo applications. So currently the way we have it for new applications is there's going to be the free response and then a guided application. Free response is currently what we have. It's just the same exact thing as what we have. So like if you're already experienced in tech and you're interested in the technician role, you can apply for the free response section. And then if you choose the guided application, you're basically going to be guided through what we do. So there's this is still like the process, so like not finalized yet, but it's currently what we have planned. There's going to be like a server called guest test or something like that. And you can go there and test out the plugins we use. And the guided application will tell you the exact command to use and like what it does. And it's basically going to give you like information on the plugin. So even if you don't have experience, you can just use the guided application. And you should have most of the experience, like most of the knowledge that you're going to need for technician after it's done. I think the specific plugins that I currently had to go through was animatronics, which is how we make our like animated armor stands. Then there's also train cart coasters, which is how we make our rides. And then just default Minecraft commands with like particles, stuff like that. You won't be able to use command blocks on that world, so can't do everything. But you're going to be able to use those specific plugins. And it's not going to be for creative use. It's specifically just for the guided application. That's everything I have to talk about. Does anyone else on the panel have everything to talk about? Anything to talk about?
Nothing from me, no.
No. Mr. Whippy, do you have anything? No? Okay. Then I guess we're gonna open up to questions. So you can just ask your questions. You don't have to join the queue. You can just ask whatever, and we'll answer it. Basically anything about tech. Yeah, when the guided application comes out, that's like how, if you're interested in learning more about tech, then you can look there. And it's gonna guide you through and hopefully give you experience. When is Laugh Floor gonna open? Oh, qubits.
Oh, yes, Laugh
We'll
Floor.
talk about that.
Perfection takes time, and I believe Floor needs to be perfect. There's no set time, but there is progress being made.
There you go. Slow but steady. The fountains of World of Color. Sure, Jacob, you can ask about World of Color fountains. In the meantime, soaring around the world, that's a build team question because they have to actually build it. Yeah, you guys can just say the questions and I'll answer them. Instead of having characters separate from the float. Oh, that's a Cubit's question, or Cubit's idea.
Where was it? Sorry, I missed it.
They said instead of having the characters separate from the floats, you could have the characters attached to the float and being a part of it.
Yeah, it was something that we looked at. The problem with Minecraft is the model sizes are really restrictive, and a couple of the ones that you've seen are already as big as we can make them, both in Blockbench, and then you can manually scale them up in a resource pack. So I would love to do that, but to save model space, I would rather focus on having them as armor stands. But we do have some cool things for like not just the floats, but some of the characters are going to have models on them. So it's not just going to be model floats. You know, like I think there's some wings in the start of the parade. Some of those may be modeled, but you'll all find out sooner or later.
Carousel progress. That's like a good question. Personally, it's not gonna happen right now. We want to finish Galaxy's Edge first, so that's going us until January, like the end of January. And then after that, we just have to see where we want to put stuff. I would like for the build team to redo Carousel progress anyways, because currently the build is not set up for a way to actually rotate. Like there's not enough it's like very wide in between each scene, so we're gonna have to look at that. Oh, there you go with Monsters Inc. Will modeled characters come to rides? Do you mean like armor stands or like actual models? Because the thing with actual models is you can't animate them, and with armor stands you can animate those, so it's a lot better to use armor stands. When is Halo coming back? That's a fantastic question. That's a great question. Keep being curious. Okay. Let's see. Remcot? Oh god. As much as I would like to do Remcot again, I'm pretty sure events will get mad at me for doing that because I thought of it and then 5 minutes later started making it the first time, so yeah. Founders of Nations redoing? They demolished that in real life, I'm sorry. No more Founders of Nations. Let's see. Festival of Random. For like purposes of keeping my rank, I'm not allowed to run Festival of Random. It was a one-time thing. Some items, their lore list the prices. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's more of the development side, like probably just a bug in the plugin. Not a huge issue, but we can look into that. We can go over our favorite things that we've worked on. Mr. Wipiano, you've recently become a technician, so might not have something there, but favorite things that we've worked on. Okay. Let's see, I have to remember. There was Halloween Horror Night stuff. Probably American Horror Story and Halloween Horror Nights, just because it actually got people scared. So that would definitely be mine. Cubits, do you have something?
I'm torn between Teletubbies from Horror Nights, which was actually hilarious to animate alongside Bo, but also Move It Shake It because it was actually a lot of fun. Because the amount of problems me and Actual ran into last minute was beyond an amount you could think. I would go with Teletubbies.
That's a great choice. I actually forgot before I wanted to go on to questions, I was actually gonna do something real quick. Okay, so I wanted to actually give you guys a chance to look at how we make our shows. So somebody just pick any show. Literally any show.
Street Electrical.
Main Street Electrical, great choice. Okay, let's go. Let me just find. Let's take a look. I have actually. Okay, we're connecting. Okay. Let me open the file for that. So recently we sorted all our shows to actually reasonable folders that like make sense. So you can see we have a lot of show folders. You can just see some of them. There you go. I'll just send them. Here's some of your folders. And then there's a ton in. There you go. Okay, let's open Main Street Electrical. Riverboat less laggy? Yes, eventually. I'm gonna probably make a model for that soon. Okay, who's ready to see your eyes burnt out? Okay, this is going great. You're either gonna be... Here you go. Look at this. Okay. This is gonna make no sense. Okay. So, with our show plugin, we have to define each armor stand, really. So there you go, the top of the show file, each armor stand being defined, so it can actually be spawned later. All the random all the random letters you see, if anyone knows, like, when you give a skull ID, like if you give yourself a skull, there's like a give ID, a unique value to it, so it actually knows what you're giving. It's just that. So it looks a lot worse than it actually is. Let me go down. These files are insanely long, by the way. Just in case you need to know, there's 100,000 lines in it, and this is only for Main Street Electrical. So let's see. Here's just other things. As you can see, it's saying specific actions. So on the left, it's not actually ticks, it's in seconds. So doing it in seconds gives us a chance to do it realistically. Like, actually triggering stuff on time. So if you see like 0 and then block, that's just triggering at 0 seconds. And then it's telling the show plugin to use block, which is a specific action. There's multiple different actions, like text, block, stuff like that. And then it's giving the block ID and then the coordinate for it. Then there's also a bunch of different tags to do. I won't show the text because that's kind of boring. And now we see why we don't do show file armor stands, because they're very annoying. So let me just show you real quick the process of that. There's a good reason that we use animatronics. As you can see, each like position must be given. So it's a very long process. And if anyone asks why something isn't done, there you go. We have to do that for each armor stand. So there's a good answer on why something isn't done, because it takes time. So much time to do it. And yeah. Okay, does anyone have... Okay, we can go back to questions now. That was all. I just forgot to do that. Why do parades leave blocks behind? Because 1.12 to 1.13 plus changed a lot. So like the plugins just aren't good. But if you go to the dev panel tomorrow, they should talk about 1.13. Hopefully they'll talk about 1.13. Oh yeah, Mr. Whippy, you wanted to talk about like process of training. You can go. You can talk about that if you want.
So as many of you may know, I've only been a technician for a few weeks, or maybe 2 months. I can't quite remember. Essentially, the initial process of application was normally like a basic application, what I expected, answering a few questions, what you'd worked on before, and then you go through some further questions which were more in depth about different types of tech and things like that. And then after that, the initial training to show what you can do involves a show file. You make a small show file. You can use any audio you want. You can include fireworks, particles, armor stands, that sort of thing. Essentially, we just have to do this to prove that we knew what we were talking about, and prove that we can do basic tech. And then moving on from that, many of you may have seen Make-A-Wish, this small custom show that's thrown together in like 2 days. Completely unexpected. Me and Mr. Cookie decided to put it together, and it went quite well. As Random showed you earlier, the show file for the show files earlier, Make-A-Wish has over 50,000 lines of code, and for instance, that show is only 83 seconds long, which does also show just how long it does take to put shows together. Even though, yes, it did take 2 days, but it just gives you a little bit of context of how much effort goes into creating our shows. And the technicians, especially the Palace technicians, we always strive for the best quality. And I know personally that all of our technicians that I work with, we all do strive for incredibly high quality, just to ensure that when guests see it, it is the best it can be.
So you basically tried your best to recreate stuff in the best way possible. Okay. Next question. Will DLR have its own shows? Yeah, when it comes, it's gonna have World of Color, Frozen. Yeah. Basically, if it's there in real life, it's gonna be here as well. What show/ride went the most wrong during testing, and what happened? Not speaking from personal experience at all. I was creating a parade once. Actually, a few times I've done this. Oh, MSDP, yeah, that too. So, sometimes stuff breaks, if we can put it that way. Main Street Electrical, before Cubits fixed it, put a huge hole through the castle and everything in Fantasyland. So after the show played, you would just see a giant hole. And then I was testing Festival of Random once, like a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago maybe. And it did move Main Street a few blocks forward. So it was off a few blocks. There was another time where I was making, I think it was like the Pride Parade, like 2 years ago. And I accidentally put a huge hole through the castle hub. So yeah, there's many things, many ways to break stuff, definitely. But in the end, it did get fixed, so yeah. Oh yeah, the rocket. The rocket was not actually broken though. It did break once, but it did fix. It fixed. Okay. I don't know if do you guys have any specific experiences with stuff breaking?
Main Street Electrical, despite fixing it on the last time it's played, destroyed Walt Disney World 1 again. What else? I think I accidentally world edited the whole of Laugh Floor out while I was just trying to move some command blocks. But this is why we have backups, I suppose. That's all from me. I don't know about Whippy.
When testing Make-A-Wish and other show files, I accidentally got coordinates wrong and ended up creating a fireworks display that ended up in the middle of nowhere, which is fun.
There's a lot of ways to actually mess up stuff, but in the end, it does get fixed. And it actually works. Okay. Can we possibly see the ability to operate attractions as a guest in the future? Yeah, the train did have that, but it was too much to set. It was like a temporary thing. But I think with Rock and Roller Coaster, you can see it right now. Pirates had it, but it was broken, so it's closed. But yes, hopefully we will be seeing Ride Op in the future, like with most rides. And then you also asked about ride photos. You can go to the dev booth and you'll see. I think that's something Cubits. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about that tomorrow. Come to the
Yeah, tomorrow. There you go. Go tomorrow. It should be good. Okay. Will the tech panel shop open? Probably not. There's not one for this. It's okay. What was the proudest moment as a technician? Probably anytime a new show plays, or like a new thing opens. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think having Main Street Electrical work, like after running it 50 times over and over, trying to figure out the problem, was quite good. Also, having Teletubbies fully working was really fun, and anything for events, tech, seeing that come to life and guests interacting with it is quite fun.
Any other questions? Let's see. I think that might be all the questions. Yeah, what's your question, Sarah? You asked events earlier to describe the department in one word. Chaos. That would definitely be the word.
Yeah.
It's definitely chaos. What rides will possibly be getting models? Every ride. The goal is to for every ride to have models at some point. So I know Animal Kingdom probably once that's fully redone, that's gonna get models. And then what was the hardest thing you've ever worked on? I started doing Happily Ever After at one point, back when that was in development. But then it completely stopped because, yeah, I just couldn't do it. Or I was doing the lasers, and then Steven came in and completely, like, blew everything away with what he did. Like, most of the current lasers you see in the show was Steven. And then, what's the hardest thing?
I don't know. That's a tough question. There's a couple. Was it hardest or was it proudest? Sorry.
The hardest.
The hardest. At the moment, it'd be Paint the Night because it's been so unpredictable. I've been working on it slowly, but it's just been so broken sometimes. But we're getting there.
Will Fantasmic ever be scheduled to show? Yeah, next Saturday. We said next Saturday at 4 Eastern. That's the current next show, and it's going to be staff. It's not going to be NPCs. So you're actually going to see people in it. Will Magic Happens eventually move to DLR? Yeah, hopefully with models, but yeah. That's the current plan. Will Illuminations get its glow back? The thing about that, so the way it was done before, with moving maps, Epcot would move on to the MK map, and with that, it like moved Epcot all the way down. And before, Illuminations used everything to bedrock level, so like 20 layers of blocks were just completely removed. That being the Illuminations globe. So that's the current reason why it's gone. In 1.13, once the server updates 1.13, it's gonna be fixed. And so yeah, just look forward to 1.13. Galaxy's Edge, hopefully February, late January, early February. There you go. Hopefully. What makes you want to work on the server? Basically knowing that everything I do will eventually be shown to guests. And like it actually has meaning to it, to everything I do. I don't know. Do you guys have? You guys can say your own answers.
Yeah, I think it's sort of similar. Being able to see guests interacting with what you make's pretty fun. Because you get to stand there and say, "Well, I made that," or at least helped towards it. So it's pretty cool.
To be honest, quite the same as Random and Qubits. It's just the feeling of knowing, I made that and people are enjoying it. But I think if something goes wrong, there's also the excitement of going, oh, there's a problem, we need to fix this before people see it, and then you start thinking about what could be the cause and all that different things.
And then a question from Travmax. Any updates on Tiki Room? Technically it's done, but we're also redoing it because it was not up to our standards. So yeah, we're gonna redo it to make it up to our standards. If the server opens on 1.16, what will happen to creative? I mean, eventually it's gonna be updated to 1.16. So I guess you might have to update your redstone then. That's really a question for later. We're still in the process of updating. When Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens, are we gonna build a droid? Not right away, realistically. I guess the main thing is Savi's workshop and having that being interactive. So not exactly the Droid Depot yet, but it's like the Droid Depot's still gonna have its conveyor belt, stuff like that. It's still gonna have all its atmosphere. Frozen's gone. In real life, yeah, it's gone. It's very sad. What's your question? Wait. Yeah, what was it? I want to keep Frozen. Like I want to keep it personally. I like Frozen. It wasn't terrible. Like it's decent enough to have. And also with like we can have that theater have rotational shows such as Aladdin. Stuff like that. Just basically anything we want because it's a decent sized stage. It's actually kind of small, but like it's good enough. Updates on NPCs and live shows. Frozen Holiday Wish had a good, like it seemed to work. The thing with Frozen Holiday Wish, each NPC you saw lasted exactly a minute. So every minute a new NPC would be spawned in, which hopefully kept it from lagging too much. I can't promise that all live shows will have NPCs just because they do eventually lag, such as Beauty and the Beast. That show lags so much already. You get like 25 people in there and the server is going to start to die, which is very sad, but it's true. So basically, Finding Nemo, maybe with new AK, but I would rather it be armor stands. Because armor stands will look way better. There you go. Yeah, it does lag a lot. We're starting to get less questions, so should be fine. We can get a few more. Yes, actual. What's your question? Yeah, that's for everyone.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, he's some notes. Okay. You can talk if you want, actual. You're good.
Hello.
There you go. Yeah, this is automatically the best panel just because of that, honestly. There you go. Okay. If there's no more questions, then I think we're basically good too. And yeah. Will wants to say that the shop is open at the back. For legal reasons, no. Any realistic questions here? Let's see. What's the biggest block/entity change to happen in one tick? I guess anything with the castle, because it's a huge thing. I guess it's changing like, I think 6,000 blocks sometimes at one time. I don't believe there's anything over that. Maybe the Fantasmic stage, but that's all I can imagine. Does tech do stuff for seasonal? Yes and no. Seasonal, they basically, yeah. We help with seasonal, but they also do their own tech. But if they ask, then yeah. We'll hope. New shows or show improvements. Yeah, so Symphony of the Stars, that's getting replaced by Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. Trying to make Once Upon a Time, which is a projection show. But the thing with that is you actually need projections to build or to use, and there's no builders at the moment to make the projections. But yes, we're always looking to update them. No. Let's see. No, Andrea, no. Are there any shows that we wish were different? Besides Symphony of the Stars, I guess. I guess Harmonious right now. I wish that the barges were not out in the day because they look ugly. Do you guys want to go? What show do you wish was different?
Oh. I think I wish that Walt Disney World had some of the more DLR shows. I know obviously we might have some coming with, having DLR soon, but I wish like the MK could have some nice nighttime parade shows again.
And then Mr. Whippy, if you want to answer that as well.
I certainly haven't answered that question, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. They're all good, but they can all be changed in some way. So, yeah. Let's see, was there any other... How do you go about making rides that use audio? A bunch of testing. Specifically for like rides, yeah, it's a bunch of testing. Things with Runaway Railway is so much easier because it's room-specific audio. It's not like specifically played in the car. So I can just play the audio in a room and have people sync to it constantly. And like it can do whatever it wants. So it's basically acting like a mini show. And the ride just happens to go through it. How do you do the autograph books? Do you mean like how do you use them or how were they made? Because yeah, it would be a development question. Does Disneyland still have Mickey and the Magical Map? No, but I really want to do it, so I will be asking for that, for them to make the stage. Is there any previous shows? Is there ever going to be a previous show brought back? I would say our specific moment or specific priority right now is getting stuff that we don't have. So if it's not made yet and we don't have it, like if we don't have something yet, then we're probably gonna hold off on it until we're finished with like Galaxy's Edge, Runaway Railway, and finishing those MK, Hall of Presidents, Carousel of Progress, and PhilharMagic. There you go. Can you bring back the Pride ride? That's a seasonal question. That is definitely a seasonal question. I have no clue if it's there still. Probably not there yet. It's probably removed. The Pride Castle show from this year or last year? Or like any other year? This year? Oh yeah, we still have that. We could technically play. It's still here. Hardest ride to code. Runaway Railway, or I guess at the moment it's probably Rise, just because of how many things it has. So that's why we're all splitting it into different, or like all the technicians are splitting it amongst ourselves, so we can all do different things. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we can all answer this one. On our favorite show as of right now. I'd have to think about that one. Right now, probably just Happily Ever After.
either Paint in the Night or Iroh. Iroh's underrated. It's the best Epcot show.
My answer depends, because if it's on the server or in real life, I have two different answers. On the server, it'd be Wishes, because Wishes is my favourite show. But if it's outside the server and in real life and in one of the Disney parks, mine will probably be Disney Illuminations from Disneyland Paris.
A lot of good shows, yeah. Okay. I think we're about good to wrap it up then. I think questions are coming to a close. So if you have any final questions, you can ask them. But you can also send community questions any other time. And yeah. We kind of answer what discontinued real life show. Do we want to be at it? Honestly, I don't know about that. Probably just Rivers of Light. I think it's like the main one that we just don't have. So should be good. The carpet audio on Creative? Do you mean at the Expo? Because the Expo carpet audio is the same exact one as the normal hall audio. How is it working on Muppet Vision? After Galaxy's Edge. Should have done it in a reasonable time, hopefully. The one that I'm not completely sure about that. I have not checked it out. We probably have to ask whoever runs that. Okay. If that's all the questions, we can wrap it up now. Thank you all for coming to the panel. This is the last one today. There's still gonna be 4 more tomorrow. So if there's seasonal, dev, GR, and then creative as well. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who also came here for all the panels.